Now we turn to the facts you need to know as America reckons with renewed discussions of white supremacy and terror in the wake of El Paso. Some of the politics can get in the way of the facts because some of Trump's allies are now falsely denying that white supremacy itself is a problem in America. Fox's Tucker Carlson kicking up a firestorm this week with new comments claiming white supremacy is just a hoax.
If you were to assemble a list, a hierarchy of concerns or problems this country faces, where would white supremacy be on the list? Right up there with Russia, probably. It's actually not a real problem in America. White supremacy, that's the problem. This is a hoax. Just like the Russia hoax. It's a conspiracy theory used to divide the country and keep a hold on power. That's exactly what's going on.
Now to the facts. Assembling a list of problems in America isn't a hypothetical. Pollsters ask Americans to do it on the regular. And they find Americans think terrorism is a problem at polls number one. 73% of Americans saying it is a priority above the economy and even immigration. So Americans think terrorism is a big problem on their hierarchy of concerns. And who's trying to commit this terrorism here? Most people in the U.S. suspected of terrorism right now are linked to white nationalism. Facts. And that's the testimony from Donald Trump's handpicked FBI director who testified under oath. Most domestic terrorism arrests this year involve white supremacy. So the feds, including the Trump-appointed feds, say that problem we have with terrorism mostly involves white nationalists. So that exists. Facts. Now, as a matter of fatalities, which is also counted in the United States, the problem is on par with foreign terrorists like ISIS. Domestic ideological terrorists kill about as many Americans as those scary foreign-linked terrorists. So those are just some receipts for the hoax crowd. And that is based on the most extreme examples of suspects and violence. If you broaden out to include and consider hate speech, other white supremacist activities, some of which might be technically legal, like there are things you can say that are horrific, which aren't a crime, well, then pile that together and you have, and this is important as America has this debate, a pile of evidence online and on your local news.
The news hanging from a small tree in front of a dorm at Stanford.
A family in Aurora wakes up to find anti-Semitic graffiti sprayed on their home.
An Army veteran who police say is an admitted white supremacist has been charged with murder as a hate crime in the stabbing death of a black man.
The FBI says they've arrested a white supremacist after he purchased a gun from an undercover FBI agent in Myrtle Beach and said he wanted to use it in the spirit of Dylan Roof.
A 21-year-old man is facing 3 years in federal prison for his role in burning and spray painting Nazi symbols on a Carmel synagogue.
White supremacist.
White supremacy.
White supremacist.
White supremacist.
This is America. If you feel like some of the hate and violence is rising, it is. Data backing up those anecdotes you just heard, the number of documented hate groups has jumped now to over 1,000. And this real problem will not be conquered by minimizing it against the evidence, nor would it be solved by exaggerating it without evidence. In the law, hate crime probes are actually complex because it can take longer to investigate motive and intent. Authorities cannot profile by mere politics, of course, any more than by any other mere categories. So there's no logic in rushing to label just anything white supremacy before gathering facts. And there is no logic in denying the facts we have and just shouting hoax.